Ever wondered how much of your life is dictated by negative patterns? It's a thought that might not cross our minds often, but it's a reality that can't be ignored. We all have them, these recurring negative patterns that seem to take the steering wheel of our lives, influencing our decisions, moods, and the overall quality of our lives. They're like invisible puppet strings, pulling us in directions we might not want to go. They can manifest in countless ways, as self-doubt, procrastination, or even as a persistent feeling of dissatisfaction. These patterns can subtly shape our perspective, our relationships, and even our opportunities, often without us even realizing it. But the good news is, we can take control. We can break free. The first step is acknowledging their existence. We must recognize these patterns, understand them, and then we can start to change them. Because remember, the first step to breaking free from these patterns is to recognize them. So, how do we identify these negative patterns? Well, let's start by understanding that negative patterns are often subtle and insidious, creeping into our lives in ways we might not immediately notice. They might manifest as recurring negative thoughts, feelings of stagnation, or habitual self-sabotage. Recurring negative thoughts are like unwanted guests. They show up uninvited, take up residence in our minds, and refuse to leave. You might find yourself constantly thinking, "I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed," or "why bother trying?" These thoughts are a clear sign of a negative pattern taking hold. Feelings of stagnation, on the other hand, can feel like being stuck in quicksand. You may feel like you're not making any progress in life, like you're just spinning your wheels going nowhere fast. This can lead to feelings of frustration, disappointment, and even despair. Then there's habitual self-sabotage. This is when we subconsciously undermine our own efforts, whether it's procrastinating on important tasks, sabotaging relationships, or engaging in harmful behaviors. It's like we're our own worst enemy, working against our own best interests. So how can we identify these patterns? One effective method is self-reflection. This involves taking the time to really look at ourselves, our thoughts, and our behaviors. It requires honesty and courage, as it's not always easy to face our own shortcomings. But it's a crucial step in identifying negative patterns. Another practical technique is journaling. Writing down our thoughts and feelings can provide valuable insights into our patterns of behavior. It can help us identify recurring themes and triggers, giving us a clearer picture of what's going on in our minds. Remember, it's not about self-blame or criticism. It's about self-awareness and understanding. It's about identifying the patterns that are holding us back so we can start to break them. Once we identify these patterns, we can then work towards breaking them. Breaking negative patterns might seem daunting, but with the right tools, it's entirely achievable. So let's dive into some practical methods you can start using today. First up, we have mindfulness exercises. These exercises help us identify our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's like taking a step back and observing our minds from a distance. This practice gives us the power to recognize negative patterns as they occur, enabling us to interrupt and alter them. Next on the list is cognitive behavioral techniques. These techniques involve identifying negative thoughts and challenging their validity. It's about asking ourselves, is this thought really true? More often than not, you'll find that these negative thoughts are based on assumptions and not facts. By questioning them, we can start to shift our thinking towards more positive patterns. Then, we have affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that we can repeat to ourselves daily. They serve as reminders of our worth and potential. For instance, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," we can affirm, "I am capable and strong." It's a simple yet powerful tool to rewire our brains towards positivity. Lastly, let's talk about goal setting. Setting clear and achievable goals gives us a sense of direction. It helps us focus our energy on what we want to achieve rather than getting caught up in negative thought spirals. Remember, the goals don't have to be grand. Even small victories can lead to significant changes in our thinking patterns. Now, these tools are not magic wands that will instantly eradicate all negativity. They require practice and patience. But rest assured, the more you use them, the better you'll get at breaking your negative patterns. So start incorporating these tools into your daily routine. Experiment with them. See what works best for you. And most importantly, be kind to yourself during this process. We all have our ups and downs, and it's okay to stumble. What matters is that we get back up and keep going. Remember, the key is consistency. Change might not happen overnight, but with time and persistence, you can break free from negative patterns. Breaking free from negative patterns is just the beginning. The next step is to cultivate a more positive mindset. A positive mindset isn't something that just happens, it's a skill, a habit that we need to cultivate and nurture deliberately, every day. One of the most effective ways to foster positivity is through gratitude journaling. This simple exercise focuses your mind on the good in your life. By writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day, you train your brain to focus on the positive. Over time, this habit can change your perspective and help you see the world in a more optimistic light. Next is the power of positive self-talk. The words we use to describe our experiences can shape how we perceive them. When we consciously choose to use positive language, we can reframe our experiences and reactions. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," try saying, "I'm still learning and improving." This shift in language can transform a negative mindset into a more positive one. Finally, surrounding yourself with positive influences can dramatically impact your outlook. Seek out people who lift you up, who inspire you, who challenge you to be better. Their positivity will rub off on you, helping to cultivate a more optimistic mindset. Cultivating a positive mindset is an ongoing journey, but it's one that can lead to a more fulfilling life. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned. Negative patterns are prevalent in our lives, clouding our perceptions and actions. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to breaking free. We've offered some practical tools to help shatter these chains and strategies to nurture a positive mindset. By fostering positivity, we can transform our lives in significant ways. Remember, breaking free from negative patterns is a journey, but it's one that can lead to a more positive and fulfilling life. So why not start today?